Hello once again, fellow human peoples. It's been a while since I've done a review of anything, let alone a Transformer. But I figured it was time to get back on that horse and get together a little video for you guys to take a look at. This week I'm taking a look at a pretty awesome Transformer from the 30th anniversary line. It's the Autobot Whirl. Whirl transforms into a very cool looking Apache helicopter. He was one of my favorite toys from, I think it might have been actually Generation 2. I don't think he was Generation 1. And I just realized I'm running out of battery, so I'm going to get this segment done really, really quick, and we'll switch over to the other segment when the battery recharges. Anyway, let's take a quick look at him. We'll start with the weapons pods he comes with. He comes with 4 weapons pods. This really cool. Actually, this kind of looks more like a camera than a weapons pod, this thing does. So, yeah, I don't really think this is a weapons pod so much as it is a camera. We have a missile pod here that attaches to him. You can see it. Another missile rack right here. It's got what appears to be 4 missiles on it. But here's his Gatling cannon. I love the way this thing looks. It's got the triangular head on it. Oops, you can't even see it. Three bolts on it. Looks very, very cool. I really like this weapon in particular. Alright, let's take a look at the figure itself. Bring him in a little bit closer to the camera here. He's a bit of an odd looking character. He's only got one eye in his head. Kind of looks a little bit like Shockwave from the Decepticons. But this guy is clearly an Autobot, even though I don't have all the stickers. I don't have any of the stickers put on him yet. You can see he came with a sticker sheet, just like the old Transformers did back in the day. I'll be putting those on shortly. I'm not going to bother with those for the review, just to let you know that they're there. What I like the most about him is that he's got claws for hands. You can see here. So he actually can't grasp any of his weapons. You kind of have to attach his weapons to little peg holes on his arms and whatnot. An awful lot of detail is in this particular figure, which I really, really like. Even the canopy opens, which is very cool if I can get it to open up here without too much trouble. Okay, trust me, the canopy opens. It's not going to open for me right now. Oh, there we go. Okay, see, the canopy opens. So if this came with a minifig, it could fit a minifig in there, which is kind of neat. Just adds that level of detail that you don't normally see in a lot of the Transformers toys coming out these days, especially the Bayformers, which suck. Yeah, I hate Bayformers. The arm, everything on this figure is nice and posable. I mean, you can do a lot with posing him. His legs bend in a bit of a different way, so that's kind of strange, but you know, he kind of looks like he's almost like a horse or something like that. A lot of posability in the arms, as you can see. Doing the robot. Do. Okay, yeah, I'm a loser. I like that. You can see you can pose him in a lot of different ways, make him look all, I'm coming to get you, Shockwave, blah blah blah. So I like the figure an awful lot. A lot of detail. You can actually see rivet bolts here on the chassis. On the airframe, looks very, very good. We have spinning blades. Oh, you can't even see that because I don't have it. But anyway, spinning blades there. One thing I don't like about him in robot form is that his main rotors don't lock. So you can see they tend to move around. It kind of makes it a little bit difficult for transforming him. Not so much so that it can't be done. Makes it just a little bit tricky to move the parts around with the blades moving all over the place. What would have been cool if they had done with this figure, and you can see they expand and lock in place that way as well. What would have been cool if they had done something with this figure where the rotor blades become swords. That would have been very neat. They didn't go that direction, mainly because I don't believe Whirl had any swords in the original figure line. So I guess they didn't see the point of giving him swords in this line, which makes perfect sense. Alright, so let's just put him back into position here. There we go. So there we have it. That's Whirl in his robot mode. In segment 2, we'll take a look at him in his what can we call it? walker mode, I guess we'll call it, because he kind of transforms to a half helicopter, half robot kind of dealy, which looks very, very cool, very reminiscent of the old Robotech series. And in the final segment, we'll take a look at his helicopter mode, which is very, very cool. Okay, now we're going to take a look at Whirl in his heliopod mode. I really like the way this looks. It really reminds me of the old Robotech anime. He's a little bit unsteady in this mode. He's going to tip over. But anyway, he really reminds me of the old Robotech Veritech fighters, especially from not the Macross series, but the series Southern Cross, I believe it was called, where they had the helicopters that had the legs and everything on them like that. Looks very, very cool. Once again, extremely posable. The legs, the feet on this figure are a little bit odd, because you can see here it's almost like they're a hoof, which you'd think would add some stability. And I mean, it adds stability this way, but just watch when I turn. It's like he's going to tip. See, there he goes. So it's a little bit strange. You got to be right on the money to get him to stand up properly. Once again, it looks very cool. I've actually attached all the weapons pods to where the weapons pods go, and it looks very neat. The side profile on this figure is awesome looking. I really, really like it. I think it's a very cool representation. Let me just see. I'm just going to put my hand here so you can see it a little bit better, and I'll move it back so you can see it a little bit better. Of course, the blades. Again, I wish they had turned the blades into swords. That would have looked very cool for this figure, because traditionally he doesn't have swords. So that would have been a nice touch. Yeah, see, he's just not going to stand up for us. He's not going to stand up for... Oh, there we go. I had to adjust the leg a little bit. So the profile shot is very cool looking. I like the way it looks. Again, I don't have all the stickers on it. You might remember that in the earlier segment I said there were stickers that came with it. And here they are. Stickers. Eventually I'm going to put those on before I put them up on the shelf. So all around, just a very cool looking, very posable toy. Very, you can see you can do a bunch of stuff with his joints and whatnot. You can do a whole lot of posing here. Right, so there you go. Alright, so I'm going to take another little break here now, transform him into his helicopter mode, and then we'll take a look at the helicopter mode. Be right back. Okay, and now we've got Whirl in his final mode, that of an AH-64 Apache helicopter, which is actually very, very cool looking. Now you'll notice I did attempt to put some of the stickers on, but I'm not going to bother with the rest of them. Mainly because they're too small and you really can't see them. I am going to finish putting on the Autobot symbols, but I'm not going to bother with anything else. So anyway, that's where I'm going to end this. This is a very, very cool looking Transformer. You can see the amount of detail here, the dorsal area. It just looks cool. I mean, it looks like a modified... Okay, here's one problem I have. The legs don't exactly clip in here. So they are a little bit loose. Or I can't seem to get them to clip in. They might actually clip in, but I can't seem to get them to clip in properly. So they are a little bit loose, but that's okay because I'm going to put them back in his robot mode and put them up on my shelf. And like I said, this is probably going to be the last Transformer I buy to review for quite some time until I get some of my collection gone out the door. Unfortunately, things are getting a little bit buried here now, so I've got to start thinking about getting rid of some of my Transformers. Anyway, this is Whirl, Autobot Whirl, a very cool looking triple changer, as they used to be called, the triple changers. Transforms from robot to helipod to a AH-64 Apache. With an awful lot of detail. Some very, very cool stuff on this. I mean, you can see the rivet bolts and everything. And it just looks nice. And it actually feels nice in the hand, too. I mean, it's got a lot of... You can see the detail here. We're looking top down on it right now. And the amount of detail that's in this particular collectible is very, very nice. Okay, so I'm going to put him back in this robot mode, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so we're back. We just took a look at all three modes of the Autobot Whirl. This is a very cool figure. I'm really, really happy I picked this up. I know it was a long time coming to get the review done. Oops, I almost tipped him over. That would have sucked. So yeah, there's a lot of things I like with this figure. I'm glad to have been able to add this to my collection. And my collection, which is growing, unfortunately, possibly means that this is going to be the last Transformer I buy and review. Until I can get rid of some of the ones that I have, maybe. I know as a collector, saying those words is dangerous. I don't like I don't like thinking that I might have to get rid of some of my collection, but if I want to continue, I think I'm going to have to. Okay, folks, that's everything for this episode of Big Dirty Reviews. Thanks very much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe in the thingamajig down below. Leave me some comments in the thingamajig as well. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. Be kind, though. Don't be mean, because I'm a sensitive soul, and you'll make me cry. Don't forget as well, upcoming in September, we have Atlanticon 4 coming to Cornerbrook for its 4th annual Festival of Sci-Fi and Everything Geekery. Check us out online, see our address right here, and I'll add it to the video down below. It's probably right around here, so you'll see the video right about here. Follow us on Twitter as well and stay up to date with everything that we're doing. Listen to us on Sunday Night Geek, Sundays on Bay of Islands Radio from 8 to 9, and yes, we'll be live again this week, which is very, very cool. I'm looking forward to getting back live on the air. Alright, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week, and remember, keep calm and geek on!